Well, it seems like there's a lot of frustration and speculation around this 19-second clip of Jet the Hawk in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I've now seen tweets, Reddit posts, and even YouTube videos talking about this 19-second clip. And I thought that I'd give my thoughts and opinions on the matter and saying that I don't really understand the frustration or even the speculation. Now, the first thing that I would like to point out that people are really upset about is the tricks that Jet is performing in this video. A lot of people are frustrated because these tricks look really slow, simple, or almost identical to what the cars look like. People are saying that it just doesn't have the sense of style that the original Riders game had. And I agree. The tricks definitely don't look nearly as cool, and it doesn't look like it's going to be necessarily customizable in any way. It's just going to be set to a specific trick. Very, very similar, if not identical, to how the cars work. And I guess I didn't really expect them to be the Riders' way, so I can't say that I'm really disappointed with that. That's a pretty big ask if you ask me, considering that the extreme gearboards aren't the biggest part of the game. Don't get me wrong, in the original Riders game, the trick system is incredible and the best it's ever been in the entire series was in the original game. And it truly added to that sense of style and just how good Sonic Riders really was. Seeing how you could pull off X-rank tricks or just pulling off some insane like combos in the air. But another argument with the tricks is people are saying that it just looks super slow. And are we already forgetting that there's a gadget that makes your tricks faster? Yes, these look slow, but I doubt that they have any gadgets equipped in this clip. Because if you look at the gadget when it's actually equipped on the car, you go insanely fast with flips, and I can imagine that you can attach this on the extreme gearboards just as you can with the vehicles. It wouldn't make sense why the extreme gearboards would have a disadvantage over the cars. But the other thing that people are really pissed off about and that I don't understand is a lot of people are saying the gameplay looks really slow. While I can understand why people might be thinking that this looks slow, I think that you have to understand that this is Jet racing all by himself. There is no other characters around him, and we obviously know from the playtest that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is meant to be super chaotic. So not having people crashing into you, throwing items at you, and having a bunch of people around you, it's gonna make the game look really slow and peaceful. That's the opposite of what this game is peaceful. In the playtest, it was almost hard to move at times because there was just so much happening. Now, I think that the chaos shouldn't be nearly as much as it was in the playtest, but it's still going to be somewhat chaotic. And again, with the gadgets, if I was a betting man, I would guarantee that there's going to be a gadget that makes you naturally faster, or potentially even different game modes in the game that make you faster. This could potentially be the slowest mode in the entire game without having any gadgets or anything equipped to the board. For all we know, that Jet's extreme gearboard just isn't a speed type board. I would imagine that it probably is, as he was a speed character in the original Riders games, but who knows? I just think those two things gameplay wise are something that we really should not be complaining about. Like, why are we getting so nitpicky from a 19-second clip of a game that isn't released yet? And All More just has so many different customizable options, it's so hard to really base your judgment off of that. Maybe some people prefer the slower way and want to have different type of gadgets. Otherwise, if you want it to be faster, you can make it faster. If you want to perform tricks faster, you can perform tricks faster. I don't understand what we're arguing about here. And the other thing that people are pissed off about is the Flynn Writing in here. Yes, Flynn does love his references, but what's wrong with that? Sometimes are they forced and a little bit cheesy? Sure, I can definitely admit that. But being that Jet is in White Cave, a stage from the original Sonic Riders, he says, "I know this place, this one's in the bag." Saying that he remembers racing on this course, and I think it's a really cool reference considering that Jet the Hawk is not a character that we get a lot from. I think it's okay to squeeze in a reference or two with Jet the Hawk or any of the Babylon Row characters. I don't think there's anything wrong with this writing, and honestly, people need to get off Flynn's back sometimes. Flynn has honestly done an amazing job with the writing and has done wonders for the Sonic writing team, in the games and in the comics. And really complaining about something like this is just stupid at this point. What would you prefer Jet to say? Just talk about how fast he's going? Or just not say anything at all? And I'm sure that he has other dialogue options when other racers are on the track. I'd love to see him interact with Sonic, as that's obviously his main rival. Now, the one thing I will agree with people complaining about, and this is the only thing throughout this, is why is Jet not wearing his goggles? In the original games, all the Babylon Row characters wore their eye protective goggles in the original Riders game. As you can see in this clip, Jet has them on his head. Team Sonic characters always left them on their heads, but that was a really cool thing that was different about the Babylon Rogues is they actually wore their goggles and they were really fitting for them. I really hope that there is potentially a customization option to where you can put the goggles down on Jet, as we don't know a lot about customization when it comes to the characters if there is any. I would imagine there probably is. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be skins and stuff like that to a certain degree, as that's been a pretty popular trend within the recent games. Even Shadow Generations got the Terrio skin and the Dreamcast and the classic Sonic Jam skin. It might not be a bunch of skins by any means, but I think there'll be some. But I hope that's an option that you can put them down, or potentially something that Sega changes. Listen, as someone that has absolutely adored Sonic Riders ever since the game came out, and has gone back constantly time and time again and ran through the entire game or just played it for fun, I am just excited to see the Extreme Gears back in some capacity and see characters like Jet the Hawk back. I cannot complain about having those characters back, even if it's not exactly how the Riders games once were. Sure, the tricks aren't great, but honestly, are they that different from Zero Gravity? Zero Gravity, you just pressed the 2 button on the Wii remote or the A button on the GameCube controller and you just did a random trick depending on timing. You didn't control the tricks in the air, but yet nobody really ever complained about that. I think it would definitely be a huge missed opportunity if this was a Sonic Riders game and they didn't do that, but this isn't. This is a Sonic racing game. This is not Sonic Riders. Does it have some aspects and sharing a lot of stuff from Sonic Riders like White Cave, the Babylon Rogues, Extreme Gear boards? Absolutely. But I can tell you now, I almost guarantee that Sega's main focus is not the Riders stuff. If anything, they're probably trying to draw a lot of fans back into the game, as I'm sure a lot of people that played Sonic Riders in the past would love to use them again, as there has never been another option outside of the Riders series to use the Extreme Gear boards, or people that just love the Babylon Rogues. I just wanted to kind of give my opinion on the matter as somebody that absolutely loves the Riders games and is somebody that just doesn't get the hate behind it. It's pretty crazy to think that during Shadow Generations that it seemed like the Sonic community was in pretty much accepting open arms of any piece of news that we got. But it really seems like with CrossWorlds, with it being a racing game, people like to nitpick and just pick apart every piece of news or any clip that we get from the game. I don't think that this game's going to be perfect. Don't get me wrong. I think that it's going to have its flaws. I think there's going to be parts that probably piss me off or even make me rage in the game. But I think this game has a bunch of potential, and potential to be the best racing game that we've ever had. Just give it a chance. If you didn't play the playtests, let me say that the playtest was a bunch of fun, and that's just a really early version of the game, I would imagine. I'm sure that they've changed so much since then, and I cannot wait to see all the changes that they decided to make in the game and proving it. You can tell that Sega is putting a lot of effort and care and really dedication into CrossWorlds to make it a good game. Especially considering that this is going to probably be the game that holds us over until next year till we get a new release of the 3D Sonic game. As I'm sure the 35th anniversary is going to 100% have the next 3D Sonic game. But let me know how you guys feel. Let me know if you guys disagree with me. I would love to see what you guys think about what I said, but also let me know why this might have frustrated you or made you even skeptical of even buying the game just from this clip. I think that there's so much more than just this 19-second clip of Jet the Hawk, but hey, let me know how you guys feel in the comments. But with that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.